What's going on, everybody? My name is Tywin Kellendijk. I'm a transformation coach. I've been doing this for 12 years, and really all that means is I take people from where they currently are, whatever that is, and I take them to where they want to be, and I keep them there. But today I want to talk to you about excuses and how dangerous excuses can be. But I want to first preface this by saying I was king of excuses. I mean, when it came to making excuses, I was the man. I was the Michael Jordan of making excuses. I used to make excuses about how I grew up. I used to make excuses. It was the government. It was everybody's fault but my own. And the problem with that was when you truly believe, and I believe this, like from my core, I believed it was everybody else's fault. And when you have that belief system that it's everybody else's fault, that means everybody else is in control and your life can't change until other people decide they want to change your life. And I don't know about you guys, but there's not too many people that run around wanting to change your life. So it's one of those things that if you don't feel like you have control over it, well, your life's not going to change. Things aren't going to change. And that's exactly how my life was set up. It was set up to lose. Like my thought process led to actions that weren't in my benefit. So quite frankly, I was a loser, and I was losing in all aspects of my life, physically, financially, mentally, you name it. It wasn't until I heard this quote by Jim Rohn who said, "For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better." And it was at that very moment that I was like, oh snap. Like I'm actually I'm the one in control. And my life instantly changed from that moment. And the reason it instantly changed from that moment, because I believed at my core, I believed I was in full control. So I started making adjustments immediately and got rid of the excuses. I stopped blaming other people. I stopped blaming my parents. I stopped blaming how I grew up. And I started taking responsibility for my life. And when I started taking responsibility for my life, I started making moves and I started taking action to better my life. And the very first area that I needed to better was my health. Because if you don't have your health, you have absolutely nothing. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, that's nothing. And at that time, I was depressed. At that time, I was fluffy. At that time, I just wasn't happy. I wasn't confident in myself. So that was trickling over to all aspects of my life. It was trickling over into my work life. It was trickling over into my relationships. It wasn't just how I physically looked on the outside, even though I wasn't happy with that. I just didn't have the confidence. I just didn't feel good about myself. So once I started taking control of my health, I started taking it way more seriously. I started taking the gym seriously. I started being consistent. I started being consistent because I knew, okay, I was in control. If I wanted to change the way my body looked, I needed to do something. I started cleaning up my eating because if I wanted to change, like that had to change. No one was gonna come and do it but me. So I've became the type of coach that I don't take excuses. I do not buy anybody's excuses. And the reason I don't buy anybody's excuses, because I seen the damage that it played in my life. I seen the path that it put me on. It put me on a one-way track to Loserville. So how could I knowingly let someone buy their own excuses? How could I knowing I know where it's gonna go, let them buy into the belief of their limiting belief system? I'm just not gonna do that. So one of the things I work on all the time with my clients is establishing a belief system that serves them, that's gonna get them to where they wanna go, and eliminating all excuses. All excuses. Take full responsibility for everything in your life. Because when you start taking full responsibility for everything in your life, you're in total control. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit of a control freak, but it served me pretty well. It served my clients very well. So my overall message for this whole video is cut your excuses. All excuses are equal at the end of the day.